Pressures on Keir Starmer regarding taxes, Leo. He's got to have a plan, hasn't he? Because he's probably going to be the next Prime Minister, let's be honest.
Yeah, and we don't know if that's going to be at the next general election or next week. So the Labour leader, Keir Starmer, is under pressure from campaigners, unions and his own MPs to set out plans for wealth taxes on the richest people in society.
Well, it's meant to be a left-wing party, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really off tack for Labour. But some of the comments, so John Trickett, the Labour MP for Hemsworth in West Yorkshire, said that it's a scandal that the wealth and assets of the super-rich are not taxed in the way that income is. And he says, with the Tories planning another age of austerity, it's time to promote a tax on the shares, stock, property and capital of the super-rich. I've got a couple of issues with this. Super-rich people are global people. If they are going to pay too much tax in the UK, they'll move to somewhere where they don't pay too much tax. Also, super-rich people are actually really good at allocating capital. They're much better at allocating capital than the government is. That's how they got rich. Elon Musk will allocate money far better than any government programme. That's why we should let Elon Musk keep his money. He'll spend it very wisely, Simon, and generate wealth.
Is this true, Simon? Because I always hear this, that the super-rich will leave if you tax them too much. But is that actually the case?
No, it's not. I mean, look, there's a debate about this, and there's an argument that says if you tax the very rich, they will move or they'll find ways around it. They will, to some extent. I think the real discussion, actually, is not whether it's the rich or the poor that you tax. The real discussion is that you boil up dissent and unhappiness amongst people who pay income tax if they think, and if it's the reality is, that people who've got huge assets don't get those assets taxed at the same rate. So income tax goes between 20 and 45%. Capital gains tax is 10 or 12 or whatever it is at the moment. So arguably what you would do, there's two or three options, aren't there? The normal ways you raise money through tax, you get income tax, VAT or national insurance, OK? What you can also do is you can do two things with asset taxes. You can do a one-off windfall tax, which is quick, it's easy, and actually, curiously, quite a lot of people are in favour of it. But you could do it on assets.
Land value tax?
That would be another one. But those things are taxing assets at the same rate. Actually, I think would serve a political purpose. And it's interesting that Hunt has said today that that's what he's going to do, because I think the thing is, they know they're not going to be the next government. What they're now doing is they've got to make a gesture that they're doing something about the economy. What they're trying to do is box Starmer in.
Yeah. Well, what the Tories have done for the last 12 years is whenever Labour come up with an idea that's popular, the Tories just steal it. So
But if you remember back to '97, of course, that was one of Blair's, clever and Brown's cleverest things, was to say, we will stick within the Tory spending limits. What we'll do is reallocate priority within them.
But can I ask you, Leo, can I ask you a moral question here? So this article talks about the ranks of the ultra-rich, the global ultra-high net worth individuals.
Cool
those are people who have got more than 50 million. Yeah. Cool guys, you can call them. More than $50 million. And that's gone up exponentially over the past year. There are now 218,000 people within that category.
Yeah.
Does anyone need £50 million?
Yeah, you do. If you're going to buy a yacht, you need at least £50 million. So obviously people need it. But taxing, I'm serious, taxing investments, taxing people's capital, that's going to restrict economic growth, because these people are very good at allocating their capital. What you need to do is tax land value. Land, people don't put effort into the land to make it generate wealth. It sucks. Like the people who own chunks of land in New York, they're sucking the wealth out of the city.
Well, a classic example is when you've got a bit of farmland, and if it's worth X, Y, Z as farmland, and if you can sell it with planning permission, obviously it's worth X, Y, Z times, whatever, because of the value of the houses. You're absolutely right. There's been plans for taxing land since the 20s. Yeah. I mean, these have been long.
We need to bite the bullet.
And we do need to bite. But
rentier capitalism is actually pretty toxic, and I think we can tax it without harming any economic.
But I still think you're not right about the fact that they necessarily allocate capital better.